let's dive in.
So tell me, what do the cards reveal? What's the truth they conceal? She's the high priestess with the key to every question that's haunting me. A lover's heart or a warning from the past. In the terror's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos I find my place.
In the tarot's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos I find my place. The moonlight glows, the veil is thin. Lunar affinity will call again. Thanks for walking in the light, where guides whisper pure insight. Until we meet, the cards will wait. Mystic whispers guide your fate. With every message our spirits send, for cosmic dreams our souls transcend.
Hey guys, welcome in. I've got all your questions if you posted. I have them saved. I am doing well. Thank you everyone for asking. Hello, welcome in. All right, guys. Let's see. So we have 11 yes no questions that have been dropped. Make sure that if you dropped a yes no question, you are also liking the live. It's the only thing I ask of you guys. Preachy, my evening is going well. Yes, thank you for asking. All right, let's kick this thing off with Sophie. I have a yes, Sophie, 8 of wands. Susan. I have a no, 4 of cups for Susan. Bussy. Bussy, I'm getting a no. I have the 7 of swords and the 2 of swords. Anna, I believe I've answered this question for you before in the past. I'm going to pull a card and see what answer we get in case the energy has shifted. But just know that if you ask this question a lot, it can give you conflicting answers, okay? All right, let's see. All right, I am getting a yes, the Emperor. Anitha, I'm getting a yes, the Fool. You're welcome, everyone. All right, this is for Preachy. For Preachy, I'm getting a no for soon, 7 of swords. Teats. I have a no teats. I have the 6 of swords and the 9 of swords. Gabriella. I'm getting a yes, Gabriella, 3 of cups. Right, this is for Amy. No, the death card. This could indicate a change in this energy, though, because the death card does talk about transitions. So, like, maybe that will change in the future. Sienna. Yes, judgment. Sienna, judgment. You're welcome, everyone. You're very welcome. Teet says, gonna donate. I got it, Teet. Thank you. You're first on the list. Preachy, is my link tree working? Let me see. Yep, it should be. It looks kind of weird today. I wonder why. Yeah, but I'm clicking all the links and they seem to be working well. Let me know if you're having any issues on this with the link tree. Yes, let me grab that PayPal real quick. There you go, Preachy. Let me know if you have any issues with that link. All right, so Alessandra, we're going to answer your question, and any last minute yes nos that want to be dropped, please get those in ASAP because the free list is about to close, and then we're moving on to donations. All right, this is for Alessandra. I'm getting a no, Alessandra. 6 of Swords. All right, I believe I got to everyone. So we are going to go ahead and close the free list. Moving on to donations. All right. Prechi, if and when that donation gets sent through, just let me know. And then if that's the case, you should be the next person, unless someone's able to sneak a donation in before you. We're going to get started with Teets. Hey, Cece, how are you? You're welcome. Okay. What's the energy on Kamara? Donate Zoe till I move out. I believe a reader is telling me the wrong thing, which I will donate it about anonymously. I have an idea of. Oh, these are people. So Kamara, Dante, Zoe, and Tamara or Tamara. Okay, got you. So 4 people. Cece donated. Cece, I got you, girl. You're gonna be after Teet, okay? Cece should just hang out. We're working on Teet right now. Per usual, if you can't wait for your turn and you just want to leave your questions with me, that's also an option. Okay, so you have someone in this group that really kind of wants to stay out of this, really doesn't want to like ruffle any feathers or like get involved or really make matters worse. I remember saying this to you before. I can't remember if it was Kamara or Tamara, but this energy is coming up under Kamara's energy. So I don't know if there's some kind of frustration here. Maybe they're hoping that things will just work out for the best. Hey, Techie. Because I have the Wheel of Fortune here, and so like maybe this person's just like hoping for the best and expecting the worst because it's the Wheel of Fortune and the 3 of Swords. But the Wheel of Fortune also talks about like wanting to just hope things are going to work out and that some kind of divine timing or blessing or something's going to come through and it'll just all work itself out. So depending on what your energy is with Kamara, this is kind of what I'm pulling for her. And it doesn't mean that she's not getting in the mix, but I feel like it's her intention is that she would rather kind of keep out of it. If maybe people are pulling her in, but she's not necessarily wanting that. Techie, I got your donation. Thank you. You're gonna be after Cece. I'm working on Teat right now. Then Cece, then you, Techie. For Dante's energy, I have the Hermit and the King of Wands. This is kind of a similar energy of self-isolation, like wanting to kind of keep to your own self, but maybe Dante trying to be the person that finds a way to make this all work out. Maybe Dante is wanting to be more of a peacemaker or trying to strategize in some way. Amy, yes, I will be live this weekend. Probably both days, Saturday and Sunday, but I'm not positive. But you'll see me for sure at least one of the days. Kamara's probably trying to stay out of it because she was part of the mess. And when I started paying attention, she wanted to lay back. That makes sense. Dante here. So like maybe with Kamara, she's just trying to kind of fly under the radar now. Maybe she realizes that you caught on and she's like, oh shit. So she's pulling back. Dante, the thing about Dante is I feel like Dante can be a little messy sometimes. However, I do feel like the energy that's coming through for Dante right now is to try to be like the peacemaker. Okay. There could be some underlying hidden motives. We do have the devil here, but on the surface, on the outside, he's trying to seem like the person that's going to like lead this or like try to find a way to like make this better. Dante could potentially have some like Capricorn and Libra energy that kind of conflict with each other. Okay. Then for Zoe, I still feel that Queen Bee energy coming from Zoe, wanting to come across like she's like a like good person, but still seeking opportunities and having underlying intentions. She has the 10 of Pentacles, which means that she wants to be like the long-standing, long-reigning person and personality in this group. I feel like you're dealing with, to be honest, like kind of a lot of two-faced people, like fake people. Like I feel like on the surface they're one way and deep down they're completely other way. And that might be why you're having such a hard time with this group of people, because maybe you can see through it. You can see like that they're not coming across genuine or sincere. And it's like everyone has a mask, like a costume that they want to wear and pretend that they're someone that they're not. And maybe you would have more respect for these people if they would just show who they are right up front. And if you're a gossiper, just admit that you're a gossiper. If you are like self-absorbed, just admit you're self-absorbed. Because I feel like if these people were to admit who they are and be really truthful about it, regardless of if you agree or not, you would be more likely to respect it, because you'd be like, well, at least you were honest about it. Like, at least you owned it. But what's happening right now is that you're struggling with this because it's like everyone's trying to wear a mask. Yes, exactly. And so, and you're kind of like me in that way, because if someone is an asshole, I want them to be like, I'm an asshole. Like, that's just who I am. It's not like what I want to be. It's not the best version of myself, but I know that I can be an asshole sometimes. Like, that I respect. Don't pretend you're not an asshole. If you are, you are. So like I'm in a similar way. Tamara, I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, Tamara or Tamara or something like that. But she's see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil vibes. Like, she's like do like walking around trying to act like oblivious. With Tamara, I feel like she's very impressionable. I feel like she can be highly influenced depending on like whoever it is that she's around. Like she could be in a room with you and agree with you, and then go in a room with someone else and then agree with them. And I feel like she's just very impressionable, and I feel like it's going to be hard to get her to be the type of person that's going to like stand up for what is right, because she's going to get a little confused with what she even believes. So I feel like she can be highly influenced, and she's one of those people, I feel like, that it's not that you can't trust her, because I don't think, I think she comes by honestly, but I think that you want someone with a backbone. You want someone who has an opinion, who can think for themselves, to be in your corner. And I just don't think that this is that person. The overall energy does seem a little chaotic until you leave. I have the 8 of Cups and the 8 of Wands. So with these two cards, indicates to me that like the best day you're going to have here is the day that you walk away. And until then, it's going to be like chaos, because the 8 of Wands in this deck that I'm looking at right now, it's like a girl who is trying to juggle it all, and there's like a tornado in the background. So there's like a shitstorm just constantly brewing. I just don't think this is your safe space. I don't think this is your safe place. I don't think you're dealing with people who are very sincere. And I think that that's going to be very difficult for you to continue to spend time around people who are like this. And, you know, this could have to do with age. This could have to do with just like maturity levels. You know, maybe this is just who these people are at their core. But regardless of what the reason is, it doesn't seem like it's going to change or resolve itself long term. So I guess depending on what your scenario is and your circumstances are, I would really just try to get out of there as soon as possible. You know, they say you are what you consume, you are who you surround yourself with. And so if you're not feeling safe here, feeling judged or pinned against, or just to feel like you're dealing with people who are not serving your highest good, you know, just get out as soon as you can. Obviously, I'm sure you would have done that a long time ago if you could, though I understand if your circumstances put this on a delay, but maybe just do what you can to kind of keep your head low. It's not that you shouldn't or you won't defend yourself. It's just one of those things where these people aren't going to learn right now, and you kind of will be wasting your energy that you could be focusing on other things doing that. All right. What's the energy? What's the energy? Is there a tarot reader telling you the wrong thing? I don't know how to ask the question, but I have been getting reads from multiple people. I don't know what that card's supposed to say. Okay, let's take a look. Techie. That's good, Techie. All right, I'm gonna save your question, okay? All right, so Teets. Okay. The reader that you've been going to, feeling like maybe you're getting told the wrong thing. This reader, and there could be more than one, but the energy of it is that you're not being steered in the wrong direction intentionally. I'm not feeling like you have a reader that's like out to give you the wrong information. As a reader myself, I feel like sometimes it's hard to, how do I word this? You as a reader, you have to be able to discern between what is your intuition and what is your ego. And I think sometimes readers, including myself at times, especially in the beginning when I first started doing this, like can sometimes give in to what their ego thinks. Okay. So for example, like I could hear someone's question and automatically I'm putting my own opinion on what their question is, and then when I pull the cards I'm getting something completely different and I'm like, oh my god, I was wrong. Like I just had an impression somewhere along the lines. I formed an opinion rather than just like letting the message flow through. And after looking at the cards I'm like, okay, this is not what I was thinking. And I just go with what the cards say because that's obviously a message from spirit for encouragement or clarity. And you can tell after doing readings for a long time what is your own judgment versus what is spirit. And it's hard to explain, but it'll be this thing where you start to kind of see the picture come in and you're starting to explain what it is you're seeing or what it is you're picking up, and all of a sudden a message will come in completely out of nowhere. It wasn't even on the path of what you were even intentionally talking about, and suddenly something comes through that overpowers that first message that you were going to give, and that is divine messages. And if people who are readers are too much in their ego, they're not going to pay attention to those divine messages that come in. And they're going to just give you the message that they feel. It doesn't mean that they're doing this intentionally and trying to give you the wrong answer. It just means that they're not receiving the message and interpreting it properly. Okay. And then you have some readers that are not intuitive readers and they just read the cards at face value. So there's a lot of missing information. So I don't think that the readers you have gone to are necessarily trying to give you the wrong information, 5 of Cups, but I do think that their intuition is not as clear and as connected as a channel as it could be. And therefore, the information gets mixed up when getting to you because they're not open to receiving 4 of Swords that interpretation. So, you could be getting the wrong message. Yes, that's what I feel. But I just want to be clear. I don't think you're going to a reader and they're trying to give you the wrong information. They just either haven't been doing this long enough or they're not tapping into their intuition as often as they should be. As a reader, a channeler, a medium, a diviner in general, that person should be tapping into their intuition all day long. They should be intuitive eaters. They should be, when they make decisions, tapping into their intuition. I use my intuition all day long when it comes to what I'm going to consume, what I'm going to watch, what I'm going to do for the day. How am I feeling? Do I have enough energy to do this, or is my body telling me something else? I'm very, very, very in tune with myself. Other readers aren't always like that. And I'm not trying to dog on other readers. I'm just saying that this is a lifelong practice. And so sometimes tarot readers can unfortunately misinterpret what the message is supposed to be, or they can be tapping into their intuition, but like languages, things can get lost in translation. So what I always tell people is to just find maybe a select few readers that you like to go to, that you resonate with, and just kind of stick to those few people. Because I do notice that I have clients that will go to pretty much anyone at any point all day long, and they'll get conflicting information. And I think it's because they're not going to someone who they truly resonate with as a reader and who feels right in their heart and soul to go to for guidance. They're just going to anyone. And I feel like when you find a reader that you connect with, it's like a soul family. And I think that those are the readers that you should stick to. It doesn't mean that you can only go to one. It means you can go to like 5 or 6. It doesn't matter. As long as you feel you connect with them and they're not just some random person. Because eventually what should be happening as you're getting readings is you're trusting yourself more and more and more, to the point where eventually you as the client don't need to go to readers anymore. So if you find that you're getting mixed messages and you're getting more and more and more confused because of the readers that you're going to, that's kind of an indication you probably shouldn't be going to those particular readers anymore. If I'm included in that, I understand. Hopefully I'm not included as that. But I always want people to do what's best for them. So to answer your question, I think it's very possible you're getting the wrong information. But I don't think any of the readers you've gone to are intentionally trying to steer you in the wrong direction. And I think the advice here is to just stick with a select few readers that you feel are giving you consistent information. I also feel like there's readers, for me personally, there's 2 others that I can think of that I feel we usually pick up similar information. That's my cousin Brittany, Radiant. Oh my God, what's her name on YouTube? She goes by Eliana. It's like, here I am, like, forgetting what her name is. Because she has the essence of I am. Okay. And then there was also another reader, which I haven't seen in a while, but her name is Happily Ever After. I feel like those 3 people, I always feel like we can get new details and new information, but we seem to have a similar message. And I've always really resonated with those people. And I don't really go to get readings anymore, but when I did, that's who I would go to, because I felt connected to them in a way as a reader that they read similarly to me, and then it just felt like I was getting the right messages. So with that being said, Teet, that is kind of like the overall of your reading and what I'm feeling, but I don't want you to take it personally if you were given the wrong message, because like I said, I don't think that these readers were intentionally trying to confuse you or give you the wrong message or provide just like a non-clarity. So Teet, that is what I have for you. I'm not sure if you stepped away or not. I haven't talked to you in like 15 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and leave your reading there, but I am going to move on to the next person. I do appreciate you leaving your donations with me and contributing to my channel. So next up I have CC. CC is next. CC, if you're here and you want to check in with your question. Forgot to tell you, apparently Dominic was working. In response to the read I got, you recently questioning Dominic's delayed response. He didn't tell me what he was doing, but at least in person he's told me he's not really a texter. That's good. That's good. I'm happy to hear it. Yeah, because I was kind of pulling like that feeling that he just wasn't able to like give you his undivided attention during that time, and it felt like it could potentially be work. I find guys aren't really texters. my husband being the exception. Now that we live together and we're together all the time, he's not a huge texter, but that was one thing that really was appealing to me, is that when we first started talking, he would like text me immediately after work, and it was very consistent, and I could literally send him like 5 different topics and he would read it all, and then he would respond to each individual conversation topic. He was never the kind of guy who would just like skim something and give like a 2-word answer. He was very invested in the conversation, which was really nice. It's one of the things that drew me to him, because I'm a Gemini stellium and I'm a talker. Like, I want to feel that you're hearing me and seeing me and responding to me. But if he had told me that he wasn't much of a texter, then I would just see if there was times we could set aside where we could maybe talk on the phone or something. But at the same time, Amy, you like, I don't want, how do I say this? You say to him that you want friendship. So talking to him on the phone might be difficult. Maybe you guys should just keep it to like in-person interactions. Yeah, so you can say to him like, if you're not much of a texter, I'm cool to talk on the phone sometimes if you're interested in that. Otherwise, we can just see each other in person. Hey, Techie. No, I haven't called on you yet. I just finished up with Teet, so we're waiting on Cece to check in. Oh, that sucks. Well, I hope you guys can see each other again. Maybe that's another good reason to kind of keep it just friends. If you guys don't live in a similar place. You might be dealing with someone like my stepdad, where like like my stepdad's a mechanic, or even my brothers. My stepdad's a mechanic, and sometimes I'll text him and be like, hey, my car is making a weird sound or whatever. Or like, hey, I need to get my brakes replaced. I was thinking about coming by this weekend. If you're working, just let me know. And all he'll do is send me like a thumbs up. And I'm like, okay. Backtrack. Number 1, are you working this weekend? If the thumbs up means you are, what day? Is it Saturday and Sunday? Just one or the other? Like, need more context. So I'm wondering if you're dealing with someone like that. I do feel like my husband is a rare breed. I don't think that most guys are going to be sending novels to each other. We're going to give Cece 1 more minute to check in. And then if she doesn't stop in, then we'll move on to Techie. We're going to give her 1 more minute. It doesn't help that the only operating car he has is his mom's, and he just doesn't trust the car to go the distance to my town. Do you drive, Amy? It's funny, I'm talking about a mechanic and you're talking about a car that's not reliable. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, but I mean, that's still, 2 weeks away before he leaves. So maybe you can figure it out. All right, so I don't think Cece is here. We'll wait for her to come back in, but Techie, I can go ahead and get started on your question. So Techie, if you're still here, let me know. Oh, okay. So, Amy, so you don't know where he lives? Is that what you're saying? Hey, Techie, we're gonna get shuffled for you, okay? If Cece checked in, we'll get to her next. Oh, okay. Is he, but he resides on the East Coast or no? Oh, gotcha. Okay. Okay, well, that's cool. Well, thank you for the update. I'm curious where this will lead, but I think best bet right now is maybe just take things slow and don't expect too much. That makes sense, but that's still not too bad. I feel like that's not too far of a drive. You just gotta be able to drive there, you know? All right. Techie says, what do you see for my love life for the remainder of 2025? This is really weird, Techie, because I'm trying to remember back to your reading that we did, but I remember you saying, am I going to meet someone new outside of the person you typically ask about? And I felt that for you. And I want to say it was the King of Swords that I pulled. And the King of Swords is here again. So I'm wondering, and then also I kind of remember back, I was feeling like you'd be kind of starting a relationship, like dating / seeing someone before the end of the year. And that does not feel like it's changed. Oh shit. And the Chariot is here. Do you remember that card that I had said, you're going to have to make a choice? Because I've got a girl who's standing in between two signs and one says this way and one says that way. That card that I was telling you that I had literally just came out of the deck again. So I think before the end of the year, you're working towards getting into a relationship with someone. I really do. this feels very exciting for you. This is like just so special to you because I think this is something that you have been wanting for a long time, is to just like really feel like you have companionship, you have a partnership, and to feel like you have someone to kind of do life with. And getting into a relationship is fun for many different reasons. Obviously, lots of firsts and butterflies and first time this and first time that and whatever. But, you know, at the core of it all, it's nice feeling like you have a friend, a love, a companion to like kind of do things with. And so before the end of the year, I feel like you're kind of getting romantically involved, and it might be with more than one person. Let's see. I think, and the Queen of Swords is here. Or sorry, Queen of Wands. You're always a Queen of Wands that comes through. That Leo energy. Oh my, holy shit. Hold on. The Queen of Wands, the Sun, and the Strength are here, and those 3 cards signify Leo energy. I just have to throw that out there. All 3 of those came out consecutively back to back, but I didn't realize it until just now. Let's see. Tell me about her love life. The Empress is here. The Empress was here last night. The Empress and the Queen of Wands. I think we're talking about this new person that we were talking about last night. The Magician is stating that you have the power, like you have the ability to choose. The Magician is like free will and feeling like the decision is at your hands to make. This King of Swords energy is very Gemini energy. The King of Swords can be like Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. Maybe this person starts to come in during Libra season potentially. But just kind of keep that in the back of your mind, because sometimes when I mention signs, they do kind of make sense. Like you could meet someone that's an air sign, or if they're not an air sign, they might have air placements. And believe it or not everyone has placements in every sign. So when I say air placements, I'm talking like rising moon, maybe a stellium in an air placement, something like that. Like I don't have any water placements. So someone was doing a reading on me and they said, oh, water placements, that wouldn't make sense because I don't have any. So it's definitely possible that there's like heavier air placements or a lot of placements within air signs in this person's chart. And then again, like I said, you could be starting to meet them during Libra season, which is what is coming up next. So that could be a standout situation. Let me see. What else am I picking up? I see like going on actual dates. You know, I can't imagine that you bum it out real hard at home, meaning like there are people who, I don't know if you've seen like those videos where it's like the woman that he thought he was marrying and she's like dressed out full face, like completely dressed to the nines, looking hot AF. But then at home, she's like in her comfy clothes, like glasses, and her hair is up, and it's like the wife that he actually got. So it's like when we feel safe and we kind of feel like we can just kind of be ourselves at home. But even as a Leo, I still feel like maybe you still have yourself kind of put together at home. But either way, I digress. I'm getting off track. I feel like there's a lot of dressing up that's happening before the end of the year. Like I feel like there's going to be opportunities for you in your love life where you're being taken out, wined and dined before the end of the year. Lots of like holiday stuff is coming up for me. So like spending time with someone around the holidays, maybe even like a New Year's party, something like that. But I feel like you have like a lot of opportunities through your love life before the end of the year to be dressing up. Exactly, Chucky, exactly. I was like, I don't think you bum it out real hard at home. But regardless, I still feel like you're having excuses and reasons to dress up for sure. Let's see. So, yeah, I don't think you're entering a relationship before the end of the year. You could change this outcome potentially if you just decide to go for it, because remember, the magician is here and it shows free will. However, I think before the end of the year is more about flirting, flirting, dates, and having fun. Um, but meeting someone special to where maybe towards the beginning of next year, you decide to go ahead and commit. Oh, you said for another one? All right, hold on. Yep, I got it. All right, so I already told you what dating MG would be like. So let's look at what dating this new person would be like, and then we'll compare here. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. So I feel okay. So I know with MG, I had said that like when you guys were like dating, you'd be doing like a lot of new stuff together, like never really anything redundant or boring unless it's something you wanted to make into a tradition. I feel like with this new person, he wants to take you out all the time. Like I feel like you guys are always going to be doing now. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be doing different things every time, but I feel like he's always going to have something to want you to go to with him, invite you to. We're talking anything from like corporate events, like work parties, to weddings, to meeting the family, to sports events, to just a day out that maybe something you'd like to do. Like I feel like this person just really likes, he seems extroverted. Like he really likes the idea of just always being out and doing something all the time. So like farmers markets and new brunch spots and things like that. So I feel like there would just be a lot of even if I don't know, I feel like, how do I put this? The new person feels like he would be more of a repeater in terms of like dates and stuff. So if you guys have like this spot that you met, it may be like sentimental to him. So he might want to do that, you know, a couple times a year. So the variety with this person isn't always going to be something new all the time, which I was sensing more of that with MG though. However, I have the hermit in reverse, meaning that this person's not going to want to like lounge at home like all the time. I think you guys might be very extroverted as a couple. You might be like the it couple that everyone wants you to come to and invites you to like social events. And if you have friends, you'll be taking him with you there. And then if he has friends, he'll be taking you with him there. And I feel like it's just like every weekend or whatever, or every opportunity you guys have to see each other is like filled with something fun or productive to do. It doesn't mean that you guys aren't going to be home, but I feel like there's more excitement to be going out and doing something. And I'm thinking like, thrifting, antiquing, going to some type of sports, or not sports, like a class at a gym. It could be a state fair, like it could just be like a bunch of different stuff. But always kind of want to being out and about and experiencing things, even if they're things you've done before. Just the idea of getting out is a lot of fun. There might be like some road trips and things like that that happen together. I feel like this person will take every opportunity to make you feel appreciated. I do feel like MG is the same way. I feel seeing the Queen of Wands, maybe this will be a hard decision for you because there's a lot of great qualities with MG, but this guy seems to be like rivaling very, very well, because the Queen of Wands is here, making me feel like you always feel like your best self around him. Like you feel lifted up, you feel appreciated. This person just like encourages you to be just kind of like shine on your own, and he's not going to dull you. Okay, he's gonna like lift you up and support you. I was at the state fair tonight. Great shout out. Well, that's fun, B. Yeah, no, definitely techie for sure. Now this person seems like a lot of fun. One area where I think they could make improvements is introspection and self-reflection. So, with this person, they're very like go with the flow, laid back, let's have a good time. But when it comes to like the serious things, the serious conversations, this person might not want to talk about the deep stuff because the Hermit is in reverse. It doesn't mean that it can't change at all. I married someone very similar, but you want to see improvement over time. You want to see a willingness from him to open up and be like, okay, I get this isn't your thing, but like we need to make sure that we're on the same page and that we are trying and that we are changing. So you could deal with someone, dealing with him where he kind of wants to repress things and pretend everything is all good on the surface. He might be the type of person that doesn't like to ask for help and maybe potentially a little stubborn. But it doesn't mean he's a bad person. It doesn't mean he has bad intentions or anything like that. They just have trouble addressing like the deeper stuff within them. But if you're the right person, you can absolutely help them recognize this and help them to try to kind of see that part of themselves and evolve. Because I think the right person that comes along, it doesn't really matter how they are. It just, if you're willing to point it out and that you mean a lot to this person, they will start to recognize those things. Maybe he wants to be more open. Maybe he wants to be more sensitive and understanding, but he wasn't raised that way. And so maybe through your love and your acceptance and your vulnerability and him trusting you, you can kind of bring this to his attention, and he can start to maybe separate, his genuine self from maybe the self that he had to repress growing up. There's just, some things that I think as a partner, we can help someone recognize within themselves. So no, I don't think he's just for fun. I think he would be good in a relationship, but nobody's perfect. Everyone's going to kind of have their thing. And for whatever reason during this reading, it's coming through for him. Like with MG, I was picking up that he might be a bit insecure. Like he is playful and understanding and supportive, but there could be this like underlying jealousy, I think is what I mentioned with him. I can't remember for sure, but there's everybody has their flaws, right? like everyone has something that they can work on, and so maybe this is just that person's thing. Yeah, exactly. So in comparison between the two of them, I don't know. I have to be honest, Techie. I think you become more attracted to this new person than MG. I think I don't know if it's like a physical attraction or if it's just attraction to their energy and you're physically attracted or what, but there's like something about this new person that kind of just magnetizes you to them. And I mean, they would have to be a catch, I think, for you to even turn your head away from MG or like have to like make a decision about this, because otherwise it would be hands down like easy answer, and I don't think that's going to be the case with this person. This person seems to be a really good and great catch and like pretty compatible with you. So the one thing I will say about MG is I think he would be more willing to kind of be a wallflower to your relationship. Like he would be more willing to let you be the standout, right? And he'd be kind of fine like letting you be more flashy than him and things like that. Whereas this new person, I think you guys kind of potentially could be like the it couple where it's like everyone wants you and everyone wants him. It kind of gives like celebrity couple vibes with this new person, and you'll be dealing with someone who like is just as interested in looking nice and smelling nice and liking the attention and being extroverted. And so I guess the question is, do you want someone who's going to be very much like you in that way? Or do you want someone that's kind of willing to like step back and let you be the one that shines? Really like the only two, like the big difference in the two connections that I am seeing a difference in. But it doesn't mean this person's going to try to steal your spotlight. It doesn't mean they're not going to compliment you or make you feel beautiful or make you feel appreciated. It's just he also wants the same thing. You'll enjoy both. Well, like I said, you don't have to make a decision right away either. Like, he's going to gas you up just as much as he would want you to do the same for him. So, you know, MG is less maintenance. MG is lower maintenance. MG obviously wants to be appreciated by you, but you're not going to have to gas up MG all the time. Whereas I feel like this new guy wants you to make him feel just as special as he's making you feel. Like he probably is like words of appreciation and admiration, and he's gonna hype you up and be your hype man, but he would want the same thing in return. Okay, what's your next question? Okay, it came through for another mini reading. Hey, Stacey. I went ahead and liked your donation on Cash App because I was like, I don't know how else to get a hold of her. But we've been calling on you for a little while, and that's totally fine. No, that's okay. That's okay. I just wanted to make sure that I was able to get to you before I left. So you'll be after Techie. And I have you for a BOGO. If you're ready, you can post one or both of your questions now. That's okay. It happens. It happened. No worries. If that ever happens again in the future and you got to take a call and like, let's just say I signed off or something for the night, we will catch up with you next time. You'll have a credit and we'll catch up with you. So no worries on that. Or you could always leave your questions with me if you wanted to. So don't stress on that. It's not a big deal. I was getting other donations done. I just didn't want you to be waiting for a long time if anyone else donated. Okay, Cece, I've got your first question. All right, how would MG feel and possibly act when he learns you're also dating someone else? How would he feel? How would he feel? My God, I'm having deja vu right now. How would he feel? Okay, so Cece, or not Cece, I'm sorry, Techie. So like I have so many thoughts going right now. First thing, how would he feel? He would feel destructive. He would feel like he wants to rise to the challenge or rise to the occasion inside. I feel like on the inside, he would be feeling like extremely disappointed, feeling like he took too long or everything that he was like thinking this might be is kind of starting to unravel right before him. I felt like jealousy, right? And I asked, would he show that he was jealous? And I got a yes. But then I asked what his overall energy would be and how he feels as the emperor. So what that tells me is that he won't be able to hide his jealousy. He will try, but it will be written all over his face. It will be written all over his actions. It'll be like, oh, well, you know, how did your date go with so-and-so? Like he's going to try to come across like unaffected, right? Unbothered. But you're going to be able to tell that it is eating him alive. It's eating away at him. It's like one of those people who like they can't help but show their feelings and their expressions on their face. Like they don't have a good poker face. They're not very good at hiding it, but he's going to try. He's going to try to act like it's no big deal. Everything is fine. You're going to be able to see it clear as day that everything is not fine with him. They are showing that he's not going to give up, that he is going to try to continue to pursue you. If you say like, I'm talking to this person, I just want to be completely transparent with you, like I'm still kind of into you, but I am seeing someone else, that will give him the green light, go ahead, that this potentially might not work out, but he's willing to give it a shot, basically. I think he knows that this can lead down a path of disappointment, but I feel like from his perspective, he'll be like, I waited long enough. Like, obviously, she's talking to someone new. And if I don't at least try right now, then like I'm going to just basically have to say goodbye to her forever, because this could potentially be the person that she marries. Like, you know, I mean, stranger things have happened. So I feel like from his perspective, it's like, well, I kind of did this to myself. I kind of put us in this situation for her to be available to meet someone new. So at this point, I kind of have to just throw my hat in the ring and hope for the best. And I think inside he knows this may not work out. This may not go exactly how he wanted or how he planned, but I still think he's going to try. I still think he's going to try to pursue you. I think in his mind, he would have a chance as long as you didn't have feelings invested in this new person. So if you're giving him the green light, if you're signaling that you're open to exploring something with him, he will take that opportunity, as long as you are showing that you are interested in him pursuing you. He's not going to do anything to make you feel uncomfortable or that this isn't consensual. He's not going to try to come across like a stalker or anything crazy like that. But if you are giving him the green light and showing interest, even while still entertaining this other person, he will still try to talk to you. He will still try to pursue you. But inside, obviously, he's going to feel uncomfortable. Like, this isn't like a comfortable situation for him. Keep what to yourself? That you're seeing someone else? I mean, yeah, that's true, Techie, but what if you don't tell him and he finds out after, and that ruins the connection because he felt like you weren't transparent with him? Like, I wouldn't withhold information for fear of someone to pursue me. Like, I would want a guy who has the balls and the backbone to say, you know what, I don't care if you're talking to someone else. Like, I'm into you and you are what I want, and like, I'll try even harder. Like, that's my thing. You know, I wouldn't want to put myself in a situation where it's like, if he was pursuing me and then found out I was talking to someone else because I wasn't transparent, what if that blows the connection up? I would rather let him know what's happening, and then he does what he's going to do with that information. Because otherwise, you have to just cut the other connection off. If you really want him to pursue you and you only want him to pursue you, then you would just have to cut the other connection off if you're not going to be honest about it. Because, like, I would want to see MG go, oh, you're talking to someone else? Okay, awkward, but also doesn't matter to me because I'm into you and I'm going to give it my best go here. I wouldn't want someone to back down from a fight. If I felt like someone was just going to like give up that easily, then how would they be in a relationship with me? Would they just give up that easily? Like, I want someone who's going to stay and have a dog in this fight. Like, that's, if you want me that bad, then make it known. I want someone who put the work in. It's not me being fearful of not having a lover, but seeing that it can create issues. But you're right. I don't want to be seen as a sneaky or shady. Right. Like, exactly. Like, you want him to know all the information and then see him still pursuing you. That is attractive as hell. Because then you're not doing anything wrong and nothing that you have done. Because, like, you don't want to start the connection off either, like, on the wrong foot, that you, like, lied by omission, you know? That's not a good way to start a connection either. You're thinking of drama. Yeah. I mean, there would be people back in, like, 1800s, all right, that would literally fight to the death for a woman. So show me what you got. All right, Techie, thank you so much for your donations. I'm going to move over to Cece for Cece's BOGO. You're welcome. All right, Cece says, why was Danny acting standoffish today at the kids' practice? Hey, Cece. Okay, so I have the 5 of Cups coming in right after the Ace of Pentacles. And this kind of gives the energy of, I thought something was going to happen and then it fell through. The 5 of Cups talks about a lot of disappointment. So something that could have clouded a bad day or for him to have a bad week. Almost like he was getting his hopes up for something to happen that didn't happen. The 5 of Cups is like disappointment, grief, sadness, like potentially even feeling like a failure. So there could have been something that happened that was like bad news for him. And then right after that, I have the 4 of Swords. So that's definitely the energy of kind of keeping to myself, being more reserved while I process this thing. Let's see. Will he be like this next time? Show me a yes or a no. Will he be like this next time? Will he? Oh. Will he be less standoffish next time? Okay, so this is something that's going to take a little bit of time for him to process, it seems. But I don't think this is something that's going to continue every time you see him from here on out. It might just get a little bit better and better, like less cloudy, if that makes sense. Is this personal? Is this personal with Cece? Is this personal? I'm getting a no, 5 of wands. So I don't think this has to do with you specifically. I think this has something to do that was going on in his own life. Does he... There's like a little bit here kind of talking about disappointment, but also distraction as well. Was he... Well, I have a couple questions. Number one, did he seem like he was on his phone a lot? I also have the devil here, and for some reason this is making me feel like something that has to do with like his career or his money or something like that, because I have the Ace of Pentacles, and you haven't seen him in a while. This is his energy. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting a no that it's not personal with you specifically, but I have like the devil and the Ace of Pentacles here. Almost like something happened with his career, like something happened with his job, or something happened with his finances, or an investment fell through, or like something that he thought was going to like be a new project or a new start or a new business venture for him. And he found out that he wasn't going to work out, or that it was going to be like much more complicated. The Pentacles has to do with like your day-to-day life, your practical needs. It can talk about, him asking for a loan and it didn't work, or like him wanting to buy a house, for example. I feel like there was some kind of distraction that has to do with like money, career, finances, something along those lines. And I think that he just didn't get very good news. He was recording at his kids' practice. That's good. I mean, I'm happy to hear that, because his mind was somewhere else today. And I'm glad that maybe with his kids and stuff, or whoever these kids are, that he would, be able to be, at least appear to be a little bit more present. Oh, disability. Yeah, it has something to do with this. Like, so if he's on disability, there could have been like an issue with approval, because disability is very, very, very finicky. If you're on disability, it means you had to fight for that. A lot of times you have to go to court, you have to have an attorney. And then there's like really rigid and strict rules, and you could have basically like essentially like lifetime disability, but they're going to re-examine like every year or something like that. So to make adjustments on how much you get and if you still qualify. So there could be some issues with that was going on, but that's like, and I have the 7 of Pentacles, so that has to do with your money as well and the things that you invest in. So I think there was just like basically some blues that he experienced today regarding his day-to-day life, regarding his like means of living. And that's about as much information as I can give on this question, because it's tarot, so I can't get much more specific than that, unfortunately. Let's see. He was involved at the practice. I felt it would be good for him and his son, and it seemed great. Disability is a pain in the butt. Yeah, it is a pain in the butt for sure. I have been told that there's a lot of medical conditions that I have, and my family is trying to encourage me to get on disability. But it just seems like such a hassle that I'm like, maybe later in life. What is your second question, Cece? It's actually why I do tarot right now, because it allows for me to work for myself. It gives me some flexibility. At least I can make my own schedule. It's not easy all the time, but it's like as good as it's going to get right now. I'm also looking at getting certifications right now. They're university for like divination and astrology and things like that to kind of branch out my business a little bit and start reading people's birth charts and things. So good things to come. Good things to come. All right. What are his current feelings for you? What are his current feelings for something? Yeah, I would like to get into passive income as well at some point. Because when you work in this industry, it's a service-based industry. Unless I'm teaching a course, like unless I'm teaching someone tarot, for example, it's not really the business where you can do the work once and get paid on it time and time again, like passive income. It's where it's service-based in exchange of your time and energy, which I love. But knowing that there's always an income coming in, regardless of whether I'm working or not, is the goal. All right. What are his current feelings for Cece, please? Mm-hmm. Cece girl, I feel like this man doesn't think he's good enough for you. Oh shit, my husband's about to call me. Let me tell him I'm still working. Okay, so he feels like he's not like good enough for you. Like, for example, I have the Eight of Swords that came out with the Empress. So what that's telling me is that he sees you for everything you are. He sees your value. He sees like how beautiful you are, how radiant you are. He's very much like that is one attractive person when he thinks of you or looks at you, but it's almost like he doesn't want to look at you because the Eight of Swords is here. So it's almost like he's saying like, I can't even look at her. I don't deserve her. I'm not good enough to even look at her. This Eight of Swords is very restrictive. Okay. But it's the restrictions that you put on yourself. So CCU, like almost like he's like, I'm blinded by her beauty and I am not good enough. Because like, here's the thing. This self-imposed restriction is like his own fears and his own insecurities. Because CC, if you're interested in him, it doesn't really matter what he thinks. It doesn't matter if he thinks he deserves you or not. If you deem him worthy, then that should be good enough. But he's putting on this like restriction on himself and he's making it seem like it's a way more complicated thing than it actually is. Okay. I can't stand how fine she is. So he's like, you know, because when someone gives you the compliment of the Empress, I mean, that is the highest compliment. That is as good as it gets. That is, I want Cece to be my baby mama. I want Cece to be my wife. I want Cece to be my partner. Like, you know, I want to live a life with her. Like, I could just see like how good that would be, kind of thing. But from his perspective, he feels unworthy. He feels like he's not good enough, and therefore he's almost blinded to the fact that this could even ever be a thing. Okay. Which might be good for you in the end. It might be, you're a wish to him, basically. Like, he's saying, it could never happen. Basically he's like saying, like, I know my place. I know who I am. I know what I've done. I know where I'm at in life. And the only way that this could ever be a thing is wishful thinking, like in my fantasy, in my dreams. So I think that he kind of tries to escape from this, like, and maybe that could be part of why he's acting a little weird too. This could be another layer to it, is that he's like, why try? Why interact if I don't feel good enough for her? Oh, you have a long history. Oh, he's an alcoholic and makes bad choices. Yeah. So, have you guys had a romantic past in any degree? Because when I have the Empress here, it makes me feel like he views you as like the ideal person for him romantically. Okay. Ooh. Maybe best you keep your distance from this person. I just cut the deck and have the Hermit. And Spirit saying, protect your peace. It's complicated situations, though. They're hard because they're so layered. They're so complex. They're so messy, But yeah, I mean, even when we did the last reading, we were talking about him kind of being standoffish and it wasn't anything personal. I do still stand by that. I don't think it was anything personal. I think between the two of you, I think he had personal things going on in his life. But it doesn't mean that this can't be a secondary reason as to why he was standoffish, because even if he doesn't have any personal issues with you, he could feel unworthy of your attention and your conversation, and maybe just feeling like, I don't want to go down that road today because of what I'm going through. He's low vibration. He friend zoned. Also maybe why he was acting weird. He needs to fix himself. Yeah, he definitely feels like he's not good enough for you. That's loud and clear. That's actually really interesting that I was able to pick that up before you told me the history here. I don't know why. I don't know why that I was getting that feeling. I guess because the Eight of Swords and the Empress, like, I don't deserve to even look at her. I feel like with the High Priestess in reverse that he doesn't listen to his intuition when it comes to you. He kind of works from his ego more than he works from his heart and his intuition. And in the last reading, the Devil came through. And the Devil talks about instant gratification and the things that we are drawn to for instant satisfaction, and they're not necessarily good for us. And it's kind of like the demons that you battle within. So, that's a theme that was in this reading for sure. This is strange, and I don't know how this applies, but sometimes I get clairgustance and clairalience, and it's like where you taste or smell something during a reading, and I'm getting like the taste of like, if you like lick an envelope or something, like that taste is in my mouth. So I wonder if something's coming to him like in the mail, or if there's something that he's having to send in the mail, some kind of like mail correspondence. Now, I don't know for sure, and I really don't know what that has to do with your reading, but it doesn't happen all the time. When it does, I usually will just tell you, because that's really random. So there might be like something happening, and I don't really talk like legal stuff. It's one of my disclaimers, but if it comes up, then it's something I will tell you. And it seems like with mail correspondence, there could be something to do with like the state or the law or the court or something along those lines. Yeah, exactly. Like I can't stand the taste of it. I don't like it. So I usually will just get those like sticker ones, like the ones you can peel the sticker off, or I'll use like a wet wipe or something to activate it. But as a kid, and it's like a taste you just don't really ever forget. So if anything comes up with that, if anything comes through with like mail correspondence, just keep that in the back of your mind in case you find out anything else about this. And then if you do, let me know, because I'm curious what that was all about. But in general, Cece, I think you might be the one that gets away for him, because we have the Ten of Pentacles here, and it's like he wishes for you. He has wishful thinking. He sees you as the Empress. He sees you as his happily ever after, but you just feel so far out of reach for him to even have that life. It's like his life, his future in his mind feel very bleak, and it feels like he doesn't have a lot of hope or expectation for the remainder of his life. It feels maybe a little like depression. Like he just doesn't have a lot of it's like hope for anything, for his life to get better than what it is right now. Yeah, no purpose. He was in a motorcycle accident in January. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a bummer. Sorry you're dealing with that, Cece. Cece, is there anything else you wanted to add on before we finish out your reading, or does that answer everything? It sucks to watch. Yeah, being a bystander of someone who's unwilling to help themselves is very difficult. Especially, Cece, because those people that are watching someone kind of just fall apart, those are people who usually have good foresight into like what the future could hold if they don't get their life together. And it looks very bleak, and it's just kind of sad watching someone fall apart. And it's like, if they're not going to help themselves, like there's nothing you can do about it. But you also have to protect yourself in the process, right? You're welcome. Okay, cool. All right. So for those of you guys who are just hanging out, I've finally caught up on my donation list. I'm going to stay open for a little while longer. So if anybody else wants to donate, there's no wait right now. And I will be here monitoring the chat if anyone sends a donation. Stacey, I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thank you again. Hey, Teet, I'm sorry. I stepped away from my computer for a few. Are you still here? Hey there. Yeah, you can donate again. That's fine. Just let me know when that donation comes through and we'll get started. Oh, you did it. You did it for another BOGO tonight. I got it. Thank you. It looks like you donated for a BOGO. That's why I was confirming. This card that just came out, I feel like it's a message for me too. That you've got some goals in mind. You have some things that you're wanting to achieve or accomplish. This could be things that you want for your life at some point. It could be a relationship, a project, building a family, traveling, buying a house, a business, etc., etc. But that there's like goals that you have in your heart, things that you would like to accomplish or achieve at some point. But I'm being shown that it's important for you to make like a practical plan to achieve these things that you need to do or that you need to get done. So I feel like what this kind of just means is that your spiritual team would like to see you take some action towards these steps, maybe start making a plan. I mean, this could be something as simple as like, I need to get my house in order. I need to go through these boxes, or I need to do some spring cleaning, or I really want to get a new car. Like basically whatever the goal is, they're saying that it's important to just take the next step, to just like take small action steps towards this plan in a practical way so that you can achieve those things that it is that you're wanting to do. In order for those things to come towards you, in order for those things to be closer to your reality. I think that you have some upcoming, like, mindful, it's almost like you're going to be more mindful and present in your current moments. There might be a strong desire to take something up on a spiritual level, like meditation, Reiki, sound healing, etc. There might be something coming up that encourages you to just have more mindful practices in your day-to-day life. I do feel like whatever it is that you're working towards is building momentum. Slowly but surely, it is being built. Whoa. Yeah, again, the King of... I'm so sorry, this fell on the floor. The King of Wands is here, and this is the card of strategy. This is the card of kind of taking the bull by the horns and making sure that whatever it is that you're looking to accomplish... Oh my gosh, these cards keep falling on the floor. It's driving me crazy. Hold on. That whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, just take action on it, essentially. I have the Two of Swords, and so this kind of says that whatever you're wanting to do is worth taking a shot. It's worth getting started, even if there's uncertainty surrounding it and you're not really sure what will come from it. They're saying do it anyways. Just get started. Now is a better time than ever. Now, I have a King of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles here. So this a lot of times can speak to companionship. It can speak to like finding a partner, someone who emotionally fulfills you, that they have like emotional stability or availability. And the Ten of Cups indicates like a long-term connection or a long-term relationship. But this card also talks a lot about stability in the home, like wanting to have a place that you like. If you were to think of putting off procrastination, if you were to think about like your ideal home life, your ideal place that you would want to live, the ideal way to what am I trying to say? You're happily ever after, basically. I feel like Spirit is saying to start focusing on that and figuring out where you want that to be, what you want that to look like. The King of Pentacles really just talks about having stability and security and safety within your home and feeling like you're surrounding yourself with the right people. That's crazy. That's basically my next question. I definitely been saying I need a man that's emotionally intelligent. Yeah, that's here for you. Someone that's emotionally intelligent, emotionally available, and satisfies you in that same way. This person has a lot of perspective, and I feel like this person will actually kind of help you, almost like a guide would. I feel like this person is very profound, and they have a good grasp on things. They have a good perspective on life. Almost like the type of person that you would seek advice from. You'd be like, what would my man do? You know what I mean? Like, what would he do? What would he say? It's almost like if you're having a moment of like kind of spiraling out of control or not sure if you're doing the right thing, you trust your person to lead you in the right direction. So this person just has like a really good grasp on life, and they just have a very like sweet and gentle nature about them as well. And I think because these two cards came out together, that this is someone that you would build a life with. Like, this is someone that you would have a home with, live together. Just really build that life with one another. Let's see. We can elaborate on that person in your next question if you want me to. And then lastly, so it's almost like investing in yourself and your goals and investing in a person is like the two bottom lines here in this reading. Spending a lot more time focusing on the present moments and enjoying what's right in front of you, and then trying to take action on things that you may have been putting off or procrastinating on are like your immediate themes. Did you want to look further into this man that I'm picking up for you? $100. I'm looking for long term. That's actually my next question. What's the energy characteristics of the person you have your first kid with? He's very in touch with like his sensitive side. This is kind of the vibe of like Mr. Mom. It doesn't mean that there's unorthodox gender roles here or something like that. It doesn't mean that, you're not going to be the stay-at-home parent and that he's not going to go to work. I'm not saying that necessarily, but I'm saying that he's a very hands-on type of person. And so as a parent and as a partner, you will find that regardless of what he does in his career, that he's going to still be the parent that comes home and interacts with your child and helps out in any way that you need. Maybe comes home from work while you're cooking. He's like, well, let me go get our kid in the bath kind of thing. Like, let's, because I think what he wants to do is like maximize as much family time together as possible. And he knows that if he helps you, even if he's had a long day and has been very tired, that you guys will have more time to spend quality time together. So that could be very important to him. I feel like he is very like has like a nostalgic connection and association with his childhood. So he likely is very excited to have a kid so he can kind of relive that in his life. So for instance, he might have been like really into a certain type of toy or a certain superhero or something like that, and really excited to like share that with his kid and kind of relive his childhood through the kid. So you're going to definitely have a very interactive partner, someone who like wants to throw the ball around or take the kid to gymnastics or whatever. Like I feel like this he wants to stay young in his body and mind and spirit, and he's able to see things with fresh eyes and get very excited. You know, he's kind of reminding me of, actually, now that I'm saying this, Phil Dunphy from Modern Family. Like, not necessarily that quirky or goofy, maybe, but more so just like that parent that just thinks their kid just hangs the moon, loves them to death. It just loves, like, you know, having this like childlike wonder about them, and just like very excited to like if your kid comes home with like birthday gifts or Christmas gifts or something like that, like he's the guy that's going to sit on the floor and help them build it or play with the toys or whatever. Like that's definitely the kind of energy that I'm picking up. Definitely as a partner, your hero, someone that you can lean on and rely on and feel like they're there for you, that they're your rock. So it's definitely a good thing. I get what you mean. I'm usually about my money, but I do seem to be a good parent as well. Yeah, for sure. So this is not necessarily to do with finances. It's just more like I am seeing the Mr. Mom vibe. I'm seeing how there could definitely be some more maternalistic qualities that he might have. Like Phil Dunphy from Modern Family. He's also kind of reminding me maybe a little bit of like my husband. My husband's very like gentle and he has like a healing touch, and he's very like connected to his childhood in a nostalgic kind of way. Kind of reminding me of my brother-in-law. He's like, he gardens, he cooks, you know, he's very hands-on, interactive parent, but at the same time he goes out and makes the money alongside my sister. So it's like that kind of vibe. I don't feel like this person suffers from toxic masculinity or anything like that by any means. I feel like he's the type of person that just is who he is and is very authentic in that, and doesn't really care basically what anyone thinks. Like he's going to be who he's going to be. Okay, I got your donation. Thank you. I'm going to pull one more card here and see if there's any other information that I can pull. He definitely doesn't allow his ego to lead. He allows for his heart and his emotions to lead. He's very disciplined and dedicated. You know, he has his own willpower, his own opinion. He's not going to allow himself to get influenced by other people. Like he makes his own decisions. And I think that he is a person of sacrifice where it's needed. He's not going to like make himself the priority in every situation. He's definitely going to be making you the priority as well as your child. Okay, so for the BOGO first question, you said, what's the energy on you as a first-time parent when you do become a parent? Okay, I like that question. Aw, I love that you both got the hero heroine archetype, meaning that, you know, you are his rock too. Your partner's rock. Like, you guys are just like a very stable couple, very stable connection. And your child relies a lot on you as well for that stability. You have the goddess archetype as a parent. So just definitely living in your soft feminine era. This means that you're giving a lot of nurturing and a lot of love and affection towards your child. You probably will be the type of parent that is always telling them that you love them, making sure that they know like how important that they are to you, just really offering that bond and that connection. So not a parent of neglect or bare minimum. I definitely feel like you're going above and beyond to be like this life force to them, everything that they need. So you will probably be the type of mom that does like a lot of research on things. Maybe when you get pregnant, it's like you want to know everything that you can to make the best decisions for yourself and for your child. You might want to go maybe more the organic or the natural route, just because the goddess energy is very much one of like the earth. So breastfeeding might be important to you, or having a natural birth might be important to you, or making your own baby food or home cooked meals, or teaching them life skills, things like this. And it doesn't mean like you're put in that category in full. It just means that there's going to definitely be certain things that feel very natural to you. You might have like just like a very good instinct that kicks in as well. Just maternal vibes, this maternal instinct that just kind of shows up. I think you delight in making your child a priority. You become like this person that wants to serve them and make sure that they have everything that they need. You have a very loving heart towards them, and you don't hold or have judgment towards them as they grow up. They feel like an open door policy. They can come to you and talk to you about literally anything, even if it's awkward or weird or uncomfortable. But the card also comes with like remembering that you also have to put yourself first sometimes. And like, while your kid, as long as they have everything they need, you also have to make sure that you are getting what you need as well. So it's almost like their needs come first, but then their wants have to come after your needs. Does that make sense? Because you need to make sure that you are not losing yourself as a parent, and you still have a sense of identity. Because I feel like you want to be of service and you want to be helpful. I think that also, one last thing that you might notice after having a child, your intuition kind of kicks in, like meaning that you might be a little bit more intuitive, a little more psychic. That might open up after you have your first kid. I think you're a very fair parent. I don't think you're overly tough or overly lenient. I think you're very fair. And then the last card I have here at the bottom of the deck, you might consider fostering or adopting at some point in your life. It doesn't mean you're not going to have a natural child, but there might be a time in your life where you're called to foster or adopt as well. What is your last question? I claim this. I definitely been hoping it to go this way. I can agree with the non-judgmental that aligns with my sign. I'm Aquarius. Oh, that's right. You did tell me that. And that's crazy. As a kid, I thought about adopting. I wanted 5 kids. Aw, I love that. Even if I have a few and adult the rest, that's crazy. Adoption came up. Not a kid, but like 18. Yeah. I think that would be awesome. Yeah, adoption came through there. I love that for you. I feel like you and your partner too will just like kind of always be on the same page about stuff. Like there will always be things that are up for discussion, but by like magic, you guys always seem to be on the same page, you and your partner. You know, there might be times where your kid is like, I really want to go do this thing. And, you know, if you're hesitant about it, likely your partner will be too. And you guys just find a way to just come to terms, come to an agreement. I really don't see as a partnership you butting heads too much. And I feel like if there are the rare occasions where you guys are not on the same page, you kind of lay it out there like, who is more passionate about this decision? Like, if he could take it or leave it, but you really have strong opinions, he'll give in to what you want, and vice versa. What's the energy on me still accomplishing CNA to nursing? I'm taking a break, but I plan on focusing back on that. What's the energy around accomplishing nursing? I wonder if this is what I was picking up on that other reading where I had said, like, let's get back to it, you know? I was like, I feel like there's something here that has kind of been on our minds and we just need to get it started. You know, I see at one point in time, this was something you were very passionate about, and it's almost like you lost the fire, the energy, the spark, something like that. When it came to this, maybe a little bit of burnout. I have the 5 of Pentacles and the 3 of Swords. Maybe you question this path for yourself. The 5 of Pentacles also can talk about a lack of support, whether that is, you know, emotional and spiritual and mental support from those around you. It can also talk about like feeling unsupported financially for this decision. It can talk about feeling like you needed to focus on other areas. If this was kind of like falling at the wayside. The 3 of Swords here can indicate like disappointment with the way things were turning out and wishing that things could be different. But regardless of whatever the energy is for you, it feels like to me that there was a lot of motivation and passion and excitement for this, and then suddenly something fell flat for you. But I see with the Seven of Pentacles, this is not something you've fully walked away from. The Seven of Pentacles indicates that there's still mental investment. You said you failed the skills part but passed through it, and it's probably what it is. And yes, people I feel want me to fail. It's someone I had around me was distracting me purposely. That makes a lot of sense, especially with the Three of Swords. Like, that's Three of Swords definitely is tied to the feeling of failure. Not that you felt like a failure, but I'm sure there's some insecurity associated with that, and feeling like you didn't have the support you needed at that time to try again. It may have been something that you just felt you needed to take a break from and walk away from. But I see this investment is still here. I specifically asked if you would pick this back up again, like if you would actually take the action to do it, and I'm getting a yes. So your current energy is definitely one that's committed to trying again. And I think that there is something going on in the back of your mind with the Four of Cups that, am I going to fail again? Like, am I going to be disappointed again? Am I going to be able to make this happen for myself? But I asked if you would accomplish it, and I did get a yes. I have the Eight of Wands, which means that it's still going to be stressful, okay? Like, it's still going to be a lot of work. But the Eight of Wands means that maybe with this specific card in this deck, you kind of just make it by the skin of your, what is it called? The skin of your teeth. I can't remember what the expression is, but like the Eight of Wands kind of indicates like you just pass, like you make it happen for yourself. But it was close call, or it was like kind of scary or something like that. But the Eight of Wands does talk about like, there is a clearance for you to be able to accomplish this. And the Knight of Cups indicates like a very, very, very happy ending. Like you're on cloud nine. You're super happy with the way this all worked out. Maybe even potentially feeling like it all like happened the way it did for a reason. And just trying to see the silver lining in this at the end of the tunnel. But I definitely can still sense your hesitation, I guess you could say, with the Four of Cups. But I feel like CNA is still waiting for you. I feel like your nursing is still, that career is still waiting for you to return to it. And yeah, maybe this is what that other reading was about, that maybe it's time to get locked in again. Figure out when you can re-enter like the next session, class, semester, board, whatever it is that you still have left to do. I feel like there is a celebration here at the end of all of this for you. If you pass the written, do you still have to do the skills? If you passed the written but failed the skills, do you have to go back and redo everything all over again? Or do you only have to do the skills part? Because it sounds like all you have left is your boards, right? You're welcome. No, I just have to take my skills again. You have 3 tries, but if I fail that, then I'll have to take the program all over. But I've been thinking positive. Since I failed, I have no idea how it will be to pass the second time. I see. Yeah, I don't have any licensing in nursing, but I did have to sit for my boards with cosmetology. So I kind of know a little bit about that because you have the written and then you have the practical. So I understand how nerve-wracking something like that can be, but just do whatever it is that you can to prepare, and I'm sending good vibes your way. Thank you again. I hope you have a good rest of your night. Thank you. See you next time.